Hi. Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Good. You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yay. How are you?
Good.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. My name is Casey Oswald, and who's with me today?
I am Cindy Bennett from the iPad group.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cindy rocks. She just got out of work and hustled up and came here to join me today. So we may or may not have more joining us. I see, Evelyn's here and Sarah's here.
Oh,
Thanks
great.
for joining us. Shall we get started?
So what channel is this on? What is the name of your channel? Your actual channel?
Teacher Casey.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Mine was like numbers and letters, and I'm like, I can't wait to get rid of that thing.
Right.
So then once I hit 100, I was able to choose my own. So
I like yours. 13 for the 13 kids.
Yeah.
You know how I am about your family and all the kids. I love it.
I appreciate it. I take all the cheering I can get because honestly, through the years, a lot of people say a lot of negative stuff. So don't mind me while I just say thank you. I appreciate it because I'm like, I take all the credit I can get. I credit any mom of any amount of kids because
this is what. Oh yes, the teacher.
It was hot, but it's not hot anymore.
I forgot my coffee in the kitchen. Okay.
I will give you permission to go get it if you really. All the teachers watching this, totally. I have one guy on the Christian Facebook group. He's like, my coffee maker broke. Should I call the firemen and cancel my classes?
Right? I know. It's like, what do I do?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I've got a backup. I've got some water, which, you know.
Okay, well, before we get started. Not that great. It's hot. It's warm, so it's not even.
Before we get started, I got to tell everybody that because Cindy is so good at her step bet and getting out there, I signed up for this step bet, and I am on day 2, and I did my power day yesterday. And let's see, I'm at 7,500 steps now.
Good job.
So Cindy posts that she's out there, and I'm like, oh,
high five!
I gotta go.
High five! I haven't even finished mine yet today.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to after this. I'll probably eat supper, and then I'll probably go after that. And then I have one class tonight.
I have
so,
3. Yeah.
3. I was hoping to get a second one.
Message me when you're done if you don't post it, and I'll tell you when I'm done.
Hey! Hello!
Sorry I'm late. Almost had a teacher no-show.
Okay, we won't charge you for it.
Almost no-showed us.
This is like no pressure.
Yeah,
if you're
really.
late, we're totally fine with it.
This is the color I'm painting my kitchen, this blue.
Nice.
Nice.
Tomorrow that's not going to be good in class. I got to scrub that off.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I did that all, those few weeks that I was painting, but it was all like white.
Well, if you do the class that says painter, it might work for that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey. Oh, Danny, why don't you tell everybody who you are?
I'm Danny, and my channel's Danny Happy Farms, Louisiana. 19 months at VIPKID, and yeah.
That is so cool. So what's your sign-up date? What's your 2-year mark? What's the...
August? No, July. End of July.
Okay, because mine's May. It's just so funny to meet people that... I just think about all of us that were kind of starting at the same time. Like, we're all in the back room doing I was laughing at myself. Like, what am I doing? This is so weird.
So did you see, Danny probably didn't see it, but this morning, what am I trying to say, Cindy? A video popped up on YouTube, and it was Evelyn, and I thought it said live, and it was March. So I click on it thinking I'm missing one of her lives. Like, I click on it, and it's March 5th of last year, but I still have no idea at this time. Here comes Danny. Here's Cindy. Here's Kelly. Here I am, like, how come I can't get in this chat? What's going on?
Oh, that's so funny.
So cool. It was all of you guys.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was Evelyn's 2nd VIPKID live. It was so cute. You guys have to check it out.
Yeah, I knew her. I found her early on, and I'm so excited because, like, I was one of her first giveaway people.
Oh,
maybe it was the second, I don't know, but I like to think it was the first. But
so special.
Yeah, something about her, our personalities clicked, and now she's going to be famous. I am just so excited.
Yes.
And Danny, I love listening to her stuff because I found her as a VIPKID teacher, but then she used to talk about a lot of other things too.
Too many things.
Yeah, but that's good. I love it. Yeah.
I love it.
Like
And you all know
and then
Evelyn
she downsized, and I'm like, I'm not gonna feel guilty for not downsizing right now. I've lived for 25 years on my own, and this is my outlet. So.
Hello, Paula. Thanks for joining us.
Awesome.
Okay, guys. So today we're talking about, I was going to say ESL or VIPKID students, but really it can be for any students. We're going to talk a little bit about different ways we can help students, and we've kind of tried to come up with a few categories. So shy kids, slow readers, distracted kids. Well, we have a list, so we'll just start going through them. And as you think of different students with different needs, please put them in the chat box so maybe we can talk about them. If we need some more input, we can either research or get some input from the chat. Right? Sound good, guys?
Yes.
Okay, so where should we start? I have to say, Danny came up with this awesome idea. Danny, you want to start us off?
Sure. This is one of the things that can scare you in the beginning. So I think this will be a great topic for new teachers because there's so many different kinds of students. I had one today, and she's my regular, and one day she'll be totally on it, and the next day she just doesn't care. And so I've gone through everything with her to try to get her to care. But like you said, there are so many different types of difficulties with students, and online it's so different than in the classroom. I think in the ways that you can engage them, you can't move positions or go do something else. You're just here. So I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say. But for that student, today was her off day, and she'll click off of the internet and pretend like she's having issues. Yeah. So I just roll with it because on those days, there's nothing I can do for her. And I just try to, do you want me to read one line and you read the other? No. Okay, so sometimes there's nothing you can do, and that's okay too, right? You just do your best, 25 minutes, but I'm excited to learn some more things that you guys have.
It's interesting that you talked about kids having on days and off days. So I have one that kind of had a few off days in a row, and I wrote it in the feedback, and I even said, distracted the first 15 minutes of class, but participated very well the last 10 minutes. And they canceled all future classes with me.
Oh no.
Five. And she's a priority booking at 2:30 in the morning. I've been taking her. She's the one from So for me, I was kind of like, well, I don't have that anymore. But the scariest part for me was worrying that I was going to get less than 5 apples. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like as a teacher, that stinks that I had to worry about that, because am I going to worry about that the next time I feel like I need to tell the truth about a student? You know what I mean?
No, I have told the truth about students, but have you read that Ed Nace's book at all?
I have it.
He has. Oh, you have it? Well, I like it, and I also read the book Little Soldiers. So it kind of gives you sort of like, think about the Chinese people have a whole different mindset. Like, they might be critical to us, but when it comes to teacher-student relationship, to always say something positive. This can be for the hard students as well as like today I have a student that I want to work on him not being choppy with his speaking. Mm-hmm. So I had to think of a way of saying that without sounding like he did something wrong.
Right.
So
and
like
the translation's got to be right.
Right. So I don't know what your situation is, but I have been honest with parents, but it always like pillow it with like, positive words. Yeah.
It's that sandwich. And of course I did that. I guess not of course, because I know there's some that don't. But she was telling me no, going like this.
But I wouldn't worry if the parents don't book you. I'd be like thankful, because sometimes the parents keep booking you. I've heard of people getting 4 apples and the parents keep booking and they want to get rid of the student and there's nothing they can do. So I would count my blessings and move on, like, because you're not going to have a problem with booking at this point. So as long as you don't get the negative feedback, you know.
That's really what I'm worried about. And, you know,
because we have to look at this job, and I say this a lot, but a lot of times we take this job really seriously and we want to be their teacher. But we are not really in their personal life. They're using us. You know, they want our accent. They want what we have. Mm-hmm. We are not really their teacher. So I think we need to be careful that don't take it personally, be as close to them and try to help them as much as you can. Mm-hmm. But if they're not going to respect you and they're not going to do it, you know, how it should be done, then I would just don't worry about it and move on. Because
throw one out there that maybe we should. What's that? Shy. Okay, go ahead. I'm so loud. I feel bad for shy kids with me. I try really hard.
Yes.
Do you think you're scared? Go ahead, Cindy. Go ahead.
Evelyn did a really good video, and since she can't speak today, I will help. I will put a plug in for Evelyn. But I watched her video, and I never really had a student like that until like last week. And I'm like, oh, and it kicked in. I'm like, Evelyn's video. And she gave the idea that to just, like, the girl was over on the couch. The parents were like, oh, no, she's not going to do anything. What are we going to do? So then I just got really soft. And I was like, hello, you know, and just got really soft and tried to sing and use a puppet. And then it kind of got her interested to come closer. And then once she realized that we were talking and I was talking to her, and she's my one conversion, but it was before the trial thing. But it was a trial, and she gave me 2 letters back that she loved me. So thank you, Evelyn. So that was just like quietly singing and waiting, and don't be too anxious to get things going.
As a reaction, be like, okay. So, Danny, what do you have for us?
Singing that's a great idea. I don't like to sing, but my puppets can sing, and just not making them talk right away, but letting them watch you talk, and letting them know that you're nice. And then, because when you're like, hello, my name, you know, and they're just like, whoa. So like, step it back a little. And don't make them talk right away, because I think sometimes they feel the pressure. They don't know how to speak any, especially trials. So having fun and singing something they know, Twinkle Twinkle, ABCs, something like that.
Okay. The student that I had, I taught her the second time, and we did ah, and I said ostrich, but the picture on the screen was an octopus. And she said, octopus. Nice. I'm like, oh my goodness, this girl knows English pretty well.
They think he's funny with stinky feet. So he's got a banana. So when I teach banana, I bring monkey in. So.
I do
throwing things like, wow, you know, a little crazy.
Hello. How are you? I'm fine.
Oh, that was funny.
It turns on and off. So, I've used this a lot for the bigger kids.
I mentioned slow readers have a special place in her heart because she really struggled with reading, and I struggled with reading comprehension. So slow readers and reading comprehension is a big part for me too. What do you guys do for slow readers?
I take turns. I said, do you want to read one sentence and I read one sentence, just to kind of move it along? Or if it's really bad, Sometimes you have to read a lot of it if they cannot read well. Is that terrible?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I tried to, I did have a student like that. I thought, if I'm not going to pitch in here, we're never going to finish in 25 minutes. And he was kind of a regular with me. And I basically read the whole story, but we finished like 25 minutes. So if I had let him read it all, we would have never finished. Yeah. But I think that's okay because they're listening. You know, they're still getting good pronunciation practice. And then he did all the other activities out loud.
In listening every time, they call it popcorn reading. And we did too in the classroom. Right. So they get to choose whether they're the red reader or the blue reader. So popcorn reading.
I always forget that one. To just call it something official, and then it sounds like you're.
Now, if I have extra time, or if I have some time, but it's starting to take a while, then I might echo read rather than popcorn reading. But if I don't have a lot of time, popcorn reading is a lot quicker. So.
Echo reading's a good idea. That'd probably be better if you have time, right?
Yeah.
Read, underline, and say, now you read.
Yeah, your turn. So for those that don't know, echo reading is when you read and then they echo you. So they read back. So just in case, I don't know who's going to watch this, you know.
Yeah. Like if there's a lot of reading, you can do a little bit of each, you know. Like sometimes you do, depending on how much time you have, do a little bit of each because you do want to make sure they say the words and get some practice of speaking and stuff like that.
Right. Definitely.
They should be speaking on each slide, and I think no matter what level, that's gonna, so if you read the whole thing, then you could ask questions afterwards and then get them speaking.
Right. I'm gonna check the chat, see if anybody has anything on shy students or slow readers. Amy said, nice, nephew lived in Marshall. Okay, that's not for us.
Sometimes this is good with shy when you're like, peekaboo.
Aw.
Peekaboo, and get them to play with you.
Yes.
Or, you know.
Amy says I read and have them circle the keywords or high frequency words. It's a good strategy, Amy. Sarah says, I have a level 3 who speaks very well and can converse, but struggles with reading. What do you do? Level 3 speaks really well, struggles with reading. I think kind of what we just talked about. There's echo reading, there's popcorn,
And, you know, keep in mind that they know, like their family knows and their parents know and their LPs know the levels of these kids. So don't try to take your student to somebody else's level or whatever. Work with that student where they're at. And like the program doesn't have to be, you know, you can't pass this class if you don't say it this certain way. You're working with the student. We all know, even our own kids, that sometimes they work and they have struggle for a while and then all of a sudden it clicks.
Right.
You know, so we just keep doing what we're doing. And I have one student that I found out her mother actually teaches Chinese, but I wish her mother would book more regular classes because she really struggles with, like it's like different every time. Like one day she's really good speaking and the next day it's really not good. And it's like kind of frustrating. I've seen other teachers put in comments like, oh, this was a hard lesson type of thing.
Do you think sometimes she prepares for the lessons and sometimes she doesn't, or just random, different levels, different lessons?
I don't know. I wonder if some kids just have a harder time with another language than others, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And
well, if they were all the same, we'd be very bored teachers. Mm-hmm. And we'd all know, like, exactly how to teach. It would all be cookie cutter, right?
Boring.
Yeah. No fun. All right, let's see. So I think we answered her question. I think if your student can converse and speak well, then I think echo reading might be a good choice. Don't you guys think? If they can speak well. Kelly said, oh, I taught one story time, love popcorn reading. And Amy QJ said, practice phonics. Okay. Next thing we have are distracted students and busy.
Usually happens with the older ones when they're, well, actually both, but can we start with low level distracted and move to upper level because it's kind of different?
I think it is different. Yeah, definitely.
What do you guys do for low level distracted? I haven't had one in a long time, so.
I think I distract them from their distraction. So,
Yeah.
you know, throwing something up in the camera and just getting their attention, throwing a song on, they're like, oh, wait, what?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Music.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
Anything
Yeah.
to bring them back here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where I failed that poor little girl the other day, that I couldn't get her to come back. When I was saying that I got lost all her classes. I think the thing that I failed at, and I just want to put this out there, is I was trying so hard to find something to get her back because she was over here like this. You know, just not showing me she was ignoring me because and I was trying so hard to find something that it looked like I was on my phone because I was trying to bring up Frozen FAS on Google Slides and something. So I was just constantly trying to do something or find something on Google Slides to bring her back. And so, yeah, lesson learned.
Yeah.
If it's not prepared on my phone, just ditch it.
I'd say your coolest prop. Like for me, like I'll get this alligator and he's biting my nose.
That's
like
cute.
something that, if that's a boy, that's a good one. But you know, I have a giant snake, but just something to bring their attention that they cannot not look at, even just for a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Songs, though, I like that. Playing some music. What song would you play, Casey?
Well, the other day it was easy because there was a song on my trial lesson. So I just went back to that slide. But I think if you have, what did Morgan say? Is it, I'm going to totally mess this up. Pink Fong? The one that does Baby Shark.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Cindy, did you hear my R? I said shark.
Shock.
Instead of shock.
Yeah,
so
I don't really speak with a majorly Bostonian accent myself.
only once in a blue moon, it'll come out. I've been away for a while, but
we both got culture in college, so both my husband and I kind of don't speak with the drawl anymore.
My kids pick it up when I do it, though. But there's just certain words.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think, is it called Pink Fong? Does anybody know?
That's what she said.
What's that?
If I don't have something like that planned ahead of time, it's not coming out during a class.
Right, because I hate getting
I get too flustered. So what I would do if the kid is, one thing I do is I'll go to my whiteboard.
I thought you said drawer.
Drawing. I was going to say drawing board, but I meant whiteboard. So I will pull this out. Oh, I like your whiteboard, Danny. Very nice. Somebody really nice must have.
Ooh.
Oh, good. You got one. Well, I got mine because Micah is so serious, and one of his funniest videos was the whiteboard, and I'm like, I can't believe how funny he is in this thing. And he really talked me into getting one. I'm like, I'm going to spend $10 on that. And I kind of like it, and I like to show VIPKID that I'm like,
I like that you can flip it, but I don't like trying to take off. Some of the dry erase is tough to take off of it, I think.
Well, you do have to clean it off, like, kind of
dirty too.
Right away.
You can get the magic stuff that takes it off, though.
But I will take this out, and I have little drawings that I got on the Drawing Reward Facebook group. And there's a bunch of drawings you can do with just a circle, and I'll be like, what is it? And then I'll put it down, and like throughout the class, I will add to it. And this one is a bird, but there's a bunch of different ones. And I did a whole bunch, like I was doing them regularly for a long time. But
that's good, because then they want to watch what's happening next.
And also you can say, go get a piece of paper and do it with me. And you say, draw a circle. Draw another circle, and have them say it. Circle, circle. And so you're speaking as well as drawing. That has worked really well for a lot of the boys that were like not interested in reading at all.
I stink at drawing. But did you guys know that there's a VIPKID drawing group?
Yeah, I'm in that one. Yeah.
Cool.
I just found
Yeah,
it because
yeah.
I want to be able to draw. I have one that said, let's do a drawing reward. And I was like, ooh.
So like I have all these, I printed these out. I think they're on that group. So there's the bird.
Oh.
And they have like steps. You can also get some of these on Pinterest.
Oh,
So
definitely.
you can do this during class and do like every time you give a star, you draw a part of the picture, and then they can't figure it out till the end. Or you could
that's
do
what I want.
at the end of class, you could do this. And I've drawn them so much that I know how to do it. Like the bunny's fun because you start with that and you go here and you go, what is it? I save the ears for last.
Ah, okay.
I do the ears last and they're like, it's a bunny. So that is really fun. And I love that because on my iPad group, you know, they don't have the AR stickers and all that stuff. So drawing rewards are great. Or when you're traveling, all you need is your whiteboard and pens and stuff like that. So, and there's so much more. You can go on Pinterest, and here's like a few more.
Nice.
So, and I think I have these on the iPad group in the files section also.
Oh, good.
So.
Oh, Cindy, I have to thank you because I updated my iPad because you reminded us, and this morning my computer did that thing where it would not connect to Wi-Fi. So my first 3 classes saved my life were on the iPad.
Write a ticket. Tell VIPKID how much you appreciate me. No, I'm just kidding.
Why not?
We should. Really.
It's really, I just want them to like subscribe to my channel for heaven's sake.
Right?
If you're in my iPad group, please subscribe to my channel.
Here I am coughing. I grab my water and I take a sip, and this student was like, you're drinking beer? I'm like, no. And I'm like showing him the bottle. Like,
oh my word, that would be weird.
I was like, am I? No, I'm just kidding.
What were you doing? Were you actually drinking, or were you just showing him the bottle?
I was coughing, so I grabbed a drink while he was reading, you know, and I'm like,
yeah.
And he's like,
So if I drink anything, I'll go off. Like I have a drink right here, and I'll go.
oh, really?
Then they can't accuse me of drinking during class.
It's not big enough.
I love it.
I just took a picture of that sign at Starbucks.
This, oh, what was it, this?
Yeah, my grandmother used to sing that to me.
They know this. The reason I wrote this is it's Louisiana state song. It's one of my favorites, and they know it. So if you know it, they'll know it maybe too. So, yeah.
Okay, that's a good one.
Okay, Kelly Tag said, yes, keep the music playing in level 1. She said, go back to the music slide in level 1. Always write down the slide number. Sarah K, I love that idea. Kelly Tag said they can draw it on the last slide too. Oh, they can, and then they're smiling. Okay.
I wish they would give them this automatically so they could write their letters on it and show us, you know, like with the program.
That would be awesome. Yeah. It should be part of their, I know Morgan said that she has regulars and that they know come with a whiteboard and a pen.
Oh,
and
wow.
I don't have enough regulars to really, but I will tell them, do you have a pen and paper if they're old enough and stuff?
Oh, fun. The only time I did that was when you showed me how to do the snowflakes, and all the students wanted to do snowflakes with me, so.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's fun.
So, Danny, let's talk about older kids. I think their distractions and busy are kind of different. At least that's where I'm going with it. What do you think?
Playing a video game on their phone.
I have one that does that. Oh, my word. Yeah.
So you can tell them you're not going to give them their stars, or you can promise them their favorite reward at the end if they do their work. I don't know. What else?
I think games are good for the older kids. I haven't really done. I really think like I have
like guess the word.
Guess the word, or even just get some cards and just throughout the lesson, just, you know, you go tell me when to stop. And then you just, you know, they'll stop and get a number. Mm-hmm. And then you can keep track of that during the class. And then they just love it when I get all animated, like, I'm gonna win. Or, you know, whatever. And so they just think that's hilarious. I don't think they see that much emotion in most people.
Yeah,
so teacher versus student is a good one. Yeah, so you can go against them and put it up on your whiteboard. teacher points, student points, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Games.
So let us know in the chat box, what do you do for your older, busy, or distracted kids? Let's see. Kelly Tag said yes, video games. Evelyn said, I have one upper boy that gets tired of English class halfway through. He starts huffy and rolling his eyes.
So hard.
Oh, the rolling of the eyes. I don't know if it's because I went through the teenage phase with two of my own kids.
Oh.
You know, I'm just like rolling the eyes. Yeah. Making my nose flare. Yeah, I don't know, Evelyn. What do you guys think? I usually just tell them I can't give them the star until they participate. Usually that's how I get them to go to do it.
Do I need to call VIPKID to come to the classroom? That's what I'll say. I'll threaten them.
That's good. I like that. I have one student that he would always do his classes in the living room area because you could see people walking in the background, but he's been going to his room and his internet isn't good in there. So it's really annoying. So I'm like, why does he want to be in there? Because he probably is playing a game or something. So I just try to keep him as busy as possible.
Yeah.
So.
Good.
There's too much reading in level 6. I'm teaching the explorers, Marco Polo, and, it's boring. She said, oh, so much reading, and it's just not interesting to them. They're not interested.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's true.
I've only had a handful of level 6. I just got my, Yes, I just got my advanced, and they offered me 7. So I still haven't done 7 yet. It's been a couple weeks, but but I haven't done very many 6s, but yeah, it did have a lot of reading. I did one the other night.
I just mentioned in my video, the last video, that I haven't done much level 6, and I've been getting level 6s.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, somebody's watching my videos.
I know they do.
Really?
I've been contacted about it, yeah.
What?
Another story
Tell
another
us
day.
later.
Wow.
Another story another day.
Off the live Zoom chat thing. Private message after this one.
I'm not saying I was contacted. I am just, yeah.
Somebody told you inside information.
There are people that check out YouTube to see what we're posting and what we're doing.
I would think so. I mean, if I was a company, I would.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's free. It's public. So I try to be careful what I say and don't complain.
What would you do? Where would you want to go? Make it involve them, because thank you. That's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did that in a level 7 too. I had this kid that was like, I wanted to say, you are way too advanced for this, but I love to talk to you, so I'm not saying it. I just love this kid so much. And so, but he was kind of bored with it, but I was like, let's and you have to make up conversation in level 7. So I would be like, let's talk superheroes, like use these words, but we'll talk about like Iron Man, Spider-Man, and so it got a whole twist on it.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Really fun, and it made it fun. So we had a great time, and then we were still used all the vocabulary, like what's the good character in a person, and you had to say, why is this person a superhero? Because he did something that nobody else wanted to do. He was willing to be without friends, like he didn't have any friends, and he did the right thing, and he helped people. And these are all in these movies these kids are watching, they know the Avengers and stuff like that. And so it really brings it really worked for this kid. But he also, when he did his speech, he talked about his mother, and his speech was about 20 minutes.
Wow.
It was amazing. I mean, it was unbelievable. And I felt guilty to spend so much time on it, but I did get feedback that thank you so much for letting him give his whole speech.
Oh, good.
So,
good.
yeah. So, yeah. Sometimes that teacher intuition kicks in, and you have to just trust your judgment at the moment.
Right. So I've told you about my friend Terry, who is like beyond his years. He wants to know, him and his dad had a debate, and he wants to know, why are astronauts considered heroes? He said, I understand, teacher. No, I understand. He calls me Casey. I understand, Casey. They are brave. They are smart. They are curious. They are explorers. But they have not saved a life.
Oh.
And he's like,
it's true.
I'm
with you, Terry.
I'm like, okay, I agree. Like,
you're right. We spent all this money and effort on what? Nothing.
And, you know, we started talking about ozone and all these things. I'm like, man, Terry, you come up with, like...
And so then you know that these kids are thinking. Like, sometimes you wonder if they're just repeating everything. Mm-hmm. But this program is trying to get them to think, and we do have to be careful how we handle that, because this very student that I'm speaking of, you know, started talking about some political stuff. But at that point, I just listened. I didn't give any like advice or information. I didn't really even know anything at the moment, but I went back to figure stuff out. But you know, we can let them talk. Just let them talk, because then if we start making judgments and we start giving our opinion, then we're going to get ourselves into trouble.
Yeah,
that's not really our job.
Right. Yeah. He's so smart. He's never tried politics or anything with me, but he does prepare for every lesson. He knows what's coming up. He knows what he's going to ask me, and he knows where he's going to debate me in every class, and I love it.
That's awesome. I love it too. That's great.
What do you do for kids that show up crying? Who was that, Danny?
My daughter's crying in the background right now, but I tell my students, like the one you just talked about, Songmida. That means you're smart.
Smart.
Oh, nice. I like that.
I always love that.
Songmida.
So crying, I've had those, and I have one at a different company, but the first class she cried in mom's lap pretty much the whole time, and we just went through the lesson. And then now she's a 4-year-old who is amazing. She could be in level 3 VIPKID. She's so great. So just keep going and do all those songs and keep smiling, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have had kids that kind of like, I can tell something happened right before class, and they're like,
yeah,
and hello, are you happy? And they're like, yes, I am happy. Then you feel really bad. You're like, no, you're not. Tell me the truth. But they're trained to always, like, sort of train into them to be in a good mood for the most part. I've not really had any kids that have cried through the whole lesson.
Yeah, luckily. Let us know in the chat if you've had a crier and what you did. I've had them show up like Cindy had said, but I can't think of anybody that cried during. And one, I said, how are you today? And mom said, sad. He said, I'm sad. And I said, why? Oh. Mom said, because I spanked him.
Really? Wow.
She hit me. I was like, well, wow. He looked like bummed, but he didn't look hurt or anything. He was just kind of like, nah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so how about scared? I kind of think it would be the same for scared and crying. Before we get into that, I saw Kelly said, when I asked her about being tough, she said she's not tough, she Doras it. So where we tell them they're not going to get stars, she said she Doras it, even for the older ones. Sarah said she does too. Evelyn wants to know, Explorers unit, what level? Oh, Kelly answered, 6.
Yeah.
Right, Danny, that's what you've been on?
Yes.
Evelyn said she's been teaching a lot of solid, liquid, gas, atoms, and molecules in level 6. I had that one in 5. Is it in 6 too?
Could be.
Wow, good.
Also not that exciting to me, you know, because he's hard to talk about. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tough. It's hard to discuss for me. You know, you can't really have a conversation. I mean, I guess you can talk about what is made of certain things and, you know, water and liquid and solid, but it's tough.
Yeah. Yeah. I read what's on the slides and... Teacher Kelly said, say hi to my husband, John. He's not used to people talking to him on YouTube. Hey,
hi,
John!
It's good to see you, John.
Shout out to John.
I can't hear you, John.
Oh, poor John. Okay.
Good job, John, getting your wife to the Bahamas.
Yeah, John, brownie points.
Next time, make her put on sunscreen.
Next time, invite us, would you?
Kelly said, good point, Terry. Firefighters are heroes. Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
He did try to tell me that women are not really suitable to be heroes, and I did remind him that there are plenty of firefighters and other heroes that are women.
Oh, that's interesting, because I get a lot of who's your hero, my mother or my grandmother.
Oh.
I get a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is my friend that doesn't live with mom, so but he does always tell me mom is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Laura, I have had almost no problems with older students. However, I had one yell at me last week. He was finished with his assessment and there was less than 2 minutes left. I tried to play a game, but he just yelled at me loudly.
Oh, no.
That's rough.
I've only had that kind of once, and I just minus a star, and it was like, oh, teacher, and I was like, yeah, we don't say no to the teacher. Oh, wow. And then he earned it right back, but I've only had that once. What about you guys? No?
I've gotten the middle finger once at the very end, and he was an older student, and I think he thought I couldn't see him. He was just joking around.
I'd be like, I love fingers.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Well, the thing is, I had one student, he was really, pulling words out was really, hard. And I was getting ready for the class, and I'm sitting here waiting for the timer to tick down, and I'm like, oh, he can hardly speak any English. This is going to be hard. And then perfectly clear, I could hear swear words. He was practicing swear words. I'm like, why can't he do his lesson that clearly? But when the camera went on, he acted like nothing ever happened. So I don't think he knew that I could hear him. Yeah. But I was like, that does not even sound like the same child.
That's usually what you pick up when you
weird.
First start to learn a language. I mean,
somebody said maybe he saw it in a movie or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was strange. But I just pretended I didn't hear it, and he didn't mention it, so.
John tried to talk to us, guys.
Oh, John!
Said he tried to talk to you and thinks you can hear him.
Oh,
you
it's
have to have the Zoom link, John.
You get first place.
Give him the Zoom link. Kelly
give that man a star.
Kelly can get the Zoom link, right?
Oh, yeah, Kelly, put him on Zoom. Yes, join us.
Yeah, you can do it with your phone, because I did it. You can do these things on your phone.
Oh, man.
You just can't be the administrator.
Sorry. The lizard jumped on the window again.
But I was scrambling. I was like, what am I going to do? And I usually don't do that. I've never had that happen to me. Wow. So, but that's a good suggestion, is to have a book there just in case, and to have a plan if you do end up with a really smart student. I mean, this class was computer, mouse. Didn't you say that mouse is no longer used in the program?
Oh,
this whole lesson was about mouse, computer.
I just said that my my new referral that was going through, they told her that she didn't need to use the mouse during her demo because most of them don't have a mouse.
It. Yeah.
I used mine today because I could tell they weren't on an iPad. So, yeah.
I did. I've been showing mine every day because I just got it yesterday hooked up. I got it for Christmas.
Pretty.
And you know that meme? I think Evelyn shared it, I don't underline, but when I do, and it's all through the thing.
Yes, I love that. I loved how everybody could relate to that, too. I'm like, good, it's not just me.
I think it was last Chinese New Year. Or some kind of holiday, and my student was in a restaurant, and I'm talking the loudest restaurant. I mean, people must have been just having a great time. They were yelling, and it hurt my ears, so I turned the volume way down, but it was just why not just cancel your class? It was very, very rough. And
I have had classes like that.
the student just didn't care. He didn't want to be there. And I had to move on from having my feelings hurt. I felt disrespected and I felt all kind of ways. And I went on the hutong and I talked about how I felt. I don't do that anymore. But they were like, well, come on, get used to it. You know, they're going to be taking classes all over the place. So my advice for that is turn your volume way down so you don't hurt your own ears and just rock out the best you can. And sometimes they can't even hear you because they don't have a headset. So maybe use your whiteboard. I don't know.
Yeah. I did have one kid. Okay, I've had a couple situations. One time the kid was talking to me, and I think the father was near the microphone going,
oh.
What do you do?
Horrible.
Like, fireman, could you please? But one time, the kid I could tell he had one earbud in. And he was talking, but I could hear him kind of faintly. And so then my intuition was telling me that earbud is near someone else because I could hear some noise happening louder than the student. So at that point, I just took a stab and I contacted the fireman and said, can you tell the student to put both earbuds in? And then it worked. But I was just guessing. So that was kind of cool how that worked. Yeah. But that only happened to me one time. But yeah, and you know, sometimes things happen that you can't control, and they're paying for it. So it's either if they cancel the class, they're going to pay the same amount as if they put you through misery, right?
Right.
So
I try not to take it personal.
Exactly.
That one little girl, when she unplugs her headphones, I can hear her. So they're not hooked up. And that's what prompted me to ask the LP to have the mom come in to make sure things work the first 5 minutes. I even said, can mom come for 5 minutes to make sure the technology works and the rapport questions? And that was what I had put to the LP. So the first time she unplugged them for me, but the next time she said no. And then she wrote in Chinese and I Google translated and it was, my mom said I cannot take these out. But I'm pretty sure it was her. That's just her excuse. Just the way she is. That would be my guess, you know. Because I think mom would come in and fix them. I said, get mom to fix them. Call mom. No, mom. I was like, okay. So, all right, let's see. Evelyn said, I asked my friend who lives in China, and parental discipline is done at home and viewed as not anyone else's business. Laura said, yes, I've been teaching the atom molecule unit as well. I love it. I do experiments with them. Oh, cool.
Wow. Good for her. She should do a video about that.
Yeah.
Kelly Tag.
We need ideas.
What's that?
We need ideas.
Yeah. Kelly said, I only have my iPad. Sarah said, can you
can go on. She can go on Zoom with the iPad. Totally.
We want to see the ocean.
Yeah. We need to show that these can be done on the iPad. And I've done, well, you did my interview on my iPad because my computer wasn't working, remember?
My very first collaboration when I was in my truck. Remember, I was in the truck?
Right.
That was my iPad, yeah. Evelyn said, funny story. I had a trial class way back when I was on my first contract. The student had an IT problem that made her sound like she had a deep, creepy voice. She was sitting in the shadows and only 5.
I think those happened early on. I don't know if that's happening still. I think that was, you know, early technology.
Right. She said she thought she was getting pranked. That's funny. So that's the end of my list. You guys, I'm glad you thought of the early finishers and
what about when there's 2? What do y'all do when there's more than one person or when there's someone who's not your student? I've seen that in parent or teacher to teacher where today I taught a 24-year-old. It was not my student.
You're not supposed to do that.
I know, but do you just contact the fireman? Just like click and say, I don't think this, like, I'm always afraid when there's 2, I don't do anything. I just teach away.
Yeah, I do too.
Me too.
Unless it was like, if it was a regular and it was happening every single lesson, then you might have to do something about it. But if it's a brother or sister, I look at it like an opportunity. Like if they're not taking classes with VIPKID and they like it, then they'll want to do it too. But if they were doing it like every single lesson, then I think that's against the rules. But once in a while, I don't think it's a
right to the LP if it happens more than once.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I've only had it, I think, during trials that I can think of. I finally had my first experience where 2 kids were in the same room and I could hear the other teacher teaching. They were cousins, and that was my first time.
What were their names? What was your name? What was your student's name?
Mine is Joe.
Okay.
I don't know.
I did one recently that happened to me, and I could hear it, and I know it was a level. It might have been a trial because I heard the noises for the trial, so it was really cute.
Oh yeah, he's a level 2. I have him tonight.
That's really fun. I always wonder who that is. I wonder if they're going to stop at 25.
I know, right? That actually happened today to a teacher. Did you guys read that on Facebook?
Oh, what, the one that was asking for help?
Why she didn't come in early like the other child's teacher. And then when she was leaving at 25 minutes, they were saying, but this teacher is still going.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
So.
But I did see somebody was saying that the parent was saying, you need to teach longer. You need to teach to 29 minutes or whatever. And the teacher was like, am I supposed to just keep teaching to accommodate the student?
Oh, and get a teacher no-show, I think was. Yeah, I remember.
So I would say absolutely not. You do not. If they're demanding you extra time, that is not okay.
Right. Laura said 24 years old. I have seen an older one before, but I don't know that they're quite that old. There has been some I've wondered about. And Evelyn Joy, once I taught 3 energetic 3-year-olds in a trial. It seemed I was at a birthday party entertainment. It seemed I was the birthday party entertainment. I could only get them on task when I used my puppets and sang ABCs. Well, it's a good thing Evelyn had them, because if anyone can pull out some songs and puppet interaction, it's Evelyn.
Remember, she said, oh, wait, they want me to be a clown for 25 minutes? I can do that.
Right?
You got it.
Oh, man, I'd be like, oh, I'm so embarrassed.
Speaking of trials, I'm taking the trial workshop tomorrow. They're offering, I think it's 40 tokens to take it.
Wow.
And the trials are new, and I'm getting a lot. So I figured I'm on spring holiday. So if y'all want to join me.
So I took that one with Lucy on the very first one. And now they've sent me 2 more emails offering it again.
Take it again. Just sit there.
But they didn't give me the 40 tokens the first time.
Oh, they didn't? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I should. Anyway, I give mine
I need
away.
to learn. I'm new to the trial, and so I'm willing to learn because it's new, it's different, and there's a lot more. So
I need to watch my trials back in September and see what I'm doing different if I was just lucky. I did see 3 students that signed up after I taught them, but I must not have been their first teacher because I saw them when I wanted my students.
Teacher Laura said that when she went to Beijing, they said they get 3 trials, but they only get 1. If something happens with IT issues, then they get more trials. So she said that, like, if you have a good trial lesson, that's all they're going to get. That's what she said she learned in China.
that's good.
So I think you should just, if you're the first one, you make it a good one, because they're not really... Because she said you only get more chances if you need it for some reason.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Well, maybe I suck. Should I not say that?
No, you got all those in September. It's coming in slowly. It's starting back to school slowly.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. All right. Well, that's all I have.
This has been so fun. Time goes so fast when you're having
fun.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize. Oh, wow. We have been on for a while.
Yeah. I have to make
everybody
supper.
in the chat, you're all still there. Wow. Yay. We love you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Give us a thumbs up.
Oh, I love that. I want one of those. Guess what? I got the Good Fortune box. I got a free Good Fortune box from Paula.
What? Paula's the one I'm sending it to.
Yeah. What's Paula Gross?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Well, she did a drawing on her channel on Saturday. And Saturday was my birthday. And I was driving we were going to our friend's house for a cookout, and I was watching it and everything, but then we got to the friend's house, so I stopped watching it. And then I didn't realize that I won, and then I saw you guys were saying, "Congratulations, Cindy," and I'm like, did I win? Oh my goodness. I was so excited because she had 3 giveaways. She had a dino, a rat dino, and Good Fortune box, and I really wanted the Good Fortune box.
Yeah.
So
she went from like she went from 100 to 500
I don't know how she
in
did
a
that.
week.
That's not right.
I
Like,
asked her, she said her support groups in her area and her
That's
teacher
so
groups
great.
are just
That's so great.
So
They're so great. Supportive.
congrats to
That's
Paula.
so
That is
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. Laura said, thank you all for sharing. Oh, thank all of you for sharing. Thank you, Laura. This has been great, everybody.
Yeah,
thank you guys so much.
Thank you for changing the time for me. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Message me if you guys think this is a better time or what time you think is best for you guys. And I think maybe we'll just see the more the merrier kind of thing.
Like for next Monday, I will be traveling back home. I am going to Atlanta on Friday. Yay. Even though there's no journey, we get our money back. So yeah, the journey was canceled. Yeah, so that really stinks. I know. Mm-hmm. But there are some people that are still going. And like Christy Carter, she's in one of the videos, I think the first one that Evelyn made. She's someone that I've talked to a lot on YouTube and in groups and stuff. I'm hoping she'll make it to Atlanta. And there are some activities planned for people that are going still, because I can't cancel my plane ticket. Well, I can cancel it, but I won't get my money back. And so I talked to my daughter, and my daughter lives not far, so we're going to make it a girls' weekend. Good. She needs a break, so it worked out really good. Yeah. So I told her, I was like, she's telling me how busy she is, and I'm like, I'm going to take your phone when I get there. And just as I was saying that, she was texting me saying, I'm going to ask you to take my phone.
Oh, good.
So I'll be the one. She'll be like, Mom, would you get off the phone?
Well, that's great. I'm super excited you get to go make it a weekend out of it anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to still do it. And, it might be good because, you can only be close. You can only meet so many people anyway, so maybe it'll be a chance to get to know people better than I would have. And Meredith, who always comes to our lives, she lives not too far, and she's going to drive to Atlanta. Ooh. Yeah, so you might remember Meredith, Danny. I think she's been coming to all of our lives. Mm-hmm. So
make some videos, even if you're,
I'm going to. I told Christy, I'm like, we're making videos. I hope you know that.
Yay.
Laura! Oh, I got goosebumps. Yes, Laura. Laura's coming near my home.
Oh.
Yes, I'll meet you.
What is she coming for? Like,
I don't know. She just said she'll be
for a reason
near me
just to come see you. That is so awesome. Maybe we could meet.
Oh, I would love that.
That's what I was thinking, if they would have let me redirect my flight somewhere else, But my daughter's not too far. So I thought, this is a good chance for us to spend some time together.
I'm hoping to meet Danny in July when I go to New Orleans.
Cool. Wow. How far are you from New Orleans, Danny?
What's that?
5 hours.
5 hours.
That's not a big deal. We'd love to go.
Mm-hmm. I'll meet you. Or we could meet, in Pensacola.
Ooh. My son is going to school in Pensacola. How far are you from Pensacola? 5?
Yeah.
I'm about 2.5. Oh. But anyway, hey, I drive. I've driven 13 hours, turned around and drove 13 hours back home to drop my son off at baseball one time. So I'm all about visiting.
Yeah, in New England, you do a lot of driving because,
Well, this was in Germany.
What we do. But I mean, you probably did it as a kid too, right? Did you do it when you lived in Mass? Did you do a lot of driving? No?
No, my parents are farmers, so they pretty much just stayed next to the livestock.
Oh, neat. Okay.
Yeah. Wow. They raise thoroughbreds up in New Hampshire and Boston.
Okay. Yes. Wow.
Great.
Awesome. Do they still do that, Casey?
Yeah. Oh, wow. And right now, because Boston and Rockingham Park in New Hampshire closed, so they have 6 months in New Jersey and 6 months in Tampa.
Oh, okay.
Seasons where they race. So
okay. Yeah. Awesome.
good.
All right. Well, thank you so much,
All
Casey.
right, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
We'll see you
Thank
later.
you.
Bye.
See you
Bye,
next
Danny.
Bye. Have fun on your trip.
Thank you.
Oh, yay.